If you're looking for an affordable freehold inter-terrace that is extensively renovated, has 4+1 spacious bedrooms within a short stroll to many amenities, and is priced at a very affordable $3.65 million, do not miss this episode of Huttons Landed Division's Live Open House. Welcome back. Hi, I'm Willie from Huttons Landed Division. Now, a lot of our viewers and followers have been asking us to feature actually houses, landed houses that are more affordable so that you will cater to a bigger mass, especially the upgraders who are staying in HDB or condos now. Actually, 3 months ago, we wanted to feature a house just there, all right, along this street. But unfortunately or fortunately, it was sold just within a weekend. Thankfully, we managed to secure or convince another client here who is staying around this stretch to market and to sell their property. So, where we are now is actually at District 16. A lot of viewers here may not be as familiar with this location. So today I'm going to share, instead of just me, I'm going to get my colleagues Serene, Lucy and Tina to explain first why a lot of the residents here, they find this place so convenient and accessible, right, to them as well as their family. So ladies, are you ready?
Ready. Thank you, Willie, for that great introduction. Now, let me show you guys around to this lovely location. Here, as you can see, there's a ample space because of this service road for you to park. Are you an owner of more than one car? Fret not. This place is perfect for you. You're surrounded by ample amenities. You can drive close to Bedok, Simei or Tampines. You can also, within a matter of 10 minutes, reach Expo, Changi Business Hub, East Coast Park and Changi Airport. But let me tell you something very exciting about this location, which is my favorite part. Well, here we are at this beautiful Bedok Park connector, which is alongside the Sungai-Bedok Canal. In this place, you will see that when we go south side, you can reach ECP in 10 to 15 minutes on your bike. Also, when you go northwards, you can reach Bedok Reservoir. So whichever side you like, walk over there. If you have pets, it's great. If you have kids, you can bike down with them and have a great picnic along East Coast Park. Also, you can exercise and enjoy your time, leisure here in this place. Now I shall hand you over to my colleague Lucy. Thank you.
Thanks, Tina. Hi, I'm Lucy, and I'll be sharing with you the amenities here, and you'll be surprised how convenient it is. I'm just across the house, and as you can see, there are 2 bus stops here, and this bus stop is just 3 stops away to Tanah Merah MRT, and if you're heading to town, you can easily take the East-West line. Or if you choose to remain in the east, you can always take a bus from here to Simei MRT, which is just 3 stops away, to do your errands at East Point Mall. And also, if you just like to have your entertainment in the east, you can go further to Tampines Mall to have your movie or just dine there or meet your friends there. And that is only 5 stops away from here. Now you can see there's plenty of car park space here, which is very convenient for your guests when they do the visitation, especially for Chinese New Year or occasion. Not only they can park outside the house, they can park at all this whole stretch here. And you're talking about food. In terms of food, it's also very convenient. Days where you don't feel like cooking or your kitchen is closed, you can always head to the corner coffee shop to have your wonton mee fix. And not only that, we have about 20 shops here. You can do your tian tian chicken rice. You can select your Japanese food here, which is very, very convenient. And if you like Nyonya food, there's a great Nyonya restaurant here as well. So, yeah. And on some days where you just want to have a cup of coffee, there are cafes here. You can chill and you can just spend your weekend here. So let's head over and see what we can see further. Now I'm just across the road from the stretch of restaurant here, and this is a totally different environment here where you can get your recreational things and your play, your exercise at this place. Now at this corner is a dog run area which you can actually bring your dog here for a walk. There's also a futsal court here which is very rare in landed properties, and what you can do is just come and distress after a long day at work here. And beside that, if you like a physical exercise and not going to the gym, we have a nice outdoor fitness corner here, which is very, very convenient for you. Then besides that, we have a playground where you can bring your children here for play, for a time of bonding and quality time to spend with your kids. And now let's hand over to Serene, who will show you what is other hangouts across the road.
I'm Serene here, and let me just bring you a 6 to 7 minute stroll away from the vicinity. So right here, we are over at Simpang Bedok Corner. So what do we have here? Just like how you have Holland Village in the central and Serangoon Gardens in the northeast, over here at Simpang Bedok, we actually have East Village on my right and Bedok Marketplace on my left. This is a one-stop destination where all your needs will be met. Cuisines-wise, you'll be spoiled for choices. Chinese, Thai, Japanese, pizza fix, prata fix, everything you want, you name it, you have it right there. Have your stomach already filled up? Go to one of the boutique stores right there. You could actually just pop by to have your hair and nails done, have a karaoke session with your friends, or even just pop in for a relaxing massage and spa. Before you head back, just pop by to one of the 24-hour supermarket right here, or even the pet supplies corner, pet lover center, to actually top up your supplies before heading home. Are you all good now? So let's just head back to the house and Willie will show you around. Over to you, Willie.
Thank you, Serene, Tina, as well as Lucy, for introducing all the walkable amenities. When I say walkable, it's really just a few minutes away. Now, these amenities are those that I actually frequent quite often because due to all the food options here. Now, every time when I drive past, I always wonder how this row of houses actually look like inside. I'm sure some of you who are familiar with Simpang Bedok and all the eateries nearby, you'll be wondering the same thing. So today, we're going to show you how this stretch of houses, all right, facing along this Upper Changi Road, looks like. Now, this house is unlike many of the owners. If you take a look, okay, this is actually the fourth house, and this is the first of the many, this entire row of houses that the developer has built, all right, all in the 90s. But what this house has done when the owners moved in here about 7 years ago was to go through a very extensive, more than $300,000 a transformation in terms of renovation. And the concept that they have for these owners to the designers is very simple. Make it as open as integrated as possible because they have a big family here. And this is very apparent even where I'm standing now in the car porch, all right? You can see here, there's an opening on this side and very, very open space and yet still sheltered as well. So let's start with first the car porch. The tiles and all this have all already been changed, okay, as part of the extensive renovation. So this is of course a fully sheltered car park, and you notice on the floor, take a closer look, there is no track marks and everything here at all because, like what Tina has mentioned before, the owners never have to park here. That's one thing, one good advantage of actually houses that do not have neighbors opposite. So the owners always park their house outside. Now with this space free up, it means that the owner's children and even your children next time when you moved in, you have a lot more additional open space. Okay, this is sheltered, comfortable, away from the weather. So if you step a bit further inside, you have a lot of shoe cabinets from on this side as well. And you notice the door is actually on the side. And one thing I like about this and what the owners enjoy is that when you're inside, you don't have to worry about basically traffic moving outside or loss of privacy. All right, there's a lot of privacy, and you notice now actually all the doors are open and yet you can't really peep through inside the house. Okay, what's beyond this door? Let's take a look. Okay, now this is, you can see this is the front foyer, and what the owners have done actually to create a little extension using the shelter. And unlike some owners who just create a shelter and keep this open as part of the gardens, they've actually made very good use of this space. With a bit of sliding windows and some shelves, they've actually effectively extended and make this as if it's part of the living room. Okay, and you can see behind me here, this is the nice garden. I like what they have done with the garden, although I'm a garden lover, prefer some grass, but what they've done is to put the there's plants, trees basically along the side of the wall and make this integrated. So with the tiles and the tables here, to be honest, they spend quite a lot of time outside here. All right, so again, it's part of the extension of an integrated so-called concept that the owners are trying to achieve. So from there all the way, you have a nice foyer entrance here. And from where I am standing, I think the screen can show you, this house is unique because from the front you can see all the way to the back, right? All the way to the back. This is not, however, the original layout of the row of houses here. As part of the extensive renovation, the owners has actually swapped, you see what you see here, the dry kitchen and the granny's room around. All right, so that instead of having a room here that actually blocks the view and the wind flow, is now an open concept kitchen, and then the room is shifted onto the right. Okay, I'll touch a bit on that later. Now coming back to the plot in the center, this plot at 1747 square feet is actually considerably quite large and comfortable for an indoor terrace. And the size is quite apparent once you step in because we have actually a wide entrance or wider than usual frontage of about 6.6 meters. Okay, you can see from the left to the right, you have a lot of wall space, and what the owners have done quite cleverly is put it slanted so they can make better use of the wall space here and put a very good 6-seater family sofa on this side. All right, with a bit of carpentry, you can even have a space for aircon. Actually, the ceiling height is much higher than what it is now. It's really more than 3 meters. Okay, but they can actually have enough ceiling height to actually put a cassette aircon both in the living room and also in the dining, which I'll show you in a while. All right, so you can see even if I were to sit here, you actually have very good view of the front and also at the back without actually feeling any loss of privacy at all. So the whole place is just very bright. This is, by the way, the house is mainly north-south. There's a bit of west on the left side, but it's mainly north-south facing. So this orientation now and this layout allows the owners to take the maximum advantage of the natural ventilation. Okay, so from the living room, you can see there's a lot of space for me to roam around. Now I want you to turn around and see what did they use with this little corner. You can actually choose to put a TV here as well, but like I said, because of the width of the entire house, if I were to put the TV on this side, you can't really see, right? So that creates an additional corner, which you can put an altar table like what the owner has done, or create a little small study area here as well. Okay, and then with the windows here, this also brings in sufficient natural light. All right, so next thing you will see is this is a split level living. While this may be a concern to some families, let's say you have elderly or physically challenged folks, but rest assured the steps are just a few steps here. But what I think is good is that actually creates this segregated but yet integrated kind of feeling between the living and also the dining. especially when we have a living room that's very big and integrated in the front, you know. So this is a very mild segregation, and also explains why a lot of developers in the past, right, especially in the 90s, like to do a split level concept, okay. This also helps to also enhance the height. We realize the ceiling height there is also higher, so helps to give this house a bit more layered look, and also feels bigger and broader than before, than other so-called flat level houses. All right. So now if you follow me, come here, behind here is your usual storeroom, okay, sufficient space underneath. And this is the few steps I mentioned. Owners have elderly parents staying here. It's not really been an issue for them because we have railings on both sides and quite a comfortable climb. All right. Now if you were to come on this side, look at this big dining room. Okay, huge. They can put an 8-seater round table here. A lot of our viewers, buyers, and say with the traditional so-called family dining, they don't want to have the regular so-called rectangular or square ones, right? So this one, you can actually put a very big dining area here. And this is, I call, really the central point of the entire household. Okay, so if you can see on my right here will be towards the entrance, to the left will be towards the kitchen. So this is really the central part. I can sit here, if I swap around, I can watch TV, all right? I can look at basically the food that's cooking and see whether there's guests coming in. Again, with a lot of privacy because with the walls there and the door at the side, you don't see any traffic coming in, right? Even if neighbors drive past as well. Okay, so over here, there's already aircon already set up. And now this is the main part of the big renovation that they've done, which is to swap it around. So you can imagine this used to be a grand niche room, but they have actually integrated, removed the wall, did a sliding door here, which I thought was quite smart, because now you can see this used to be the size of that room, right? So you have now a dry kitchen, a lot of carpentry basically built all the way to the top, maximizes a lot of storage, easy for preparation, especially now a lot of us use a lot of appliances, a lot of desktop space, okay, that's been done so you can do your dry so-called preparation, food preparation, and all your daily necessities as well. Now all this, you can see this are our anti-slam carpentry. Bear in mind, all these are just 7 years old, so even if buy over, you want to go through hefty renovation, I think this house will be very convenient, and this is also one of the reasons that's appealed to many buyers so far. Okay, on this side of the wall, this is basically left quite untouched. You can put a small dining set like you can here, or even use this space to have an island or another set of shelves for storage, right, if you want to. Now, talking about storage, if you follow me towards the end here, okay, on the left, there's a small storage room, and then this is the first and only bathroom here on basically the left side. This has also been swapped, okay? This has also been swapped because this used to be the bathroom, but because now the grand niche room is here, the owners wanted an integrated ensuite, okay, for the father or for any elderly folk who's going to stay here, or even as an activity room. Later, I'll show you this room in a while, all right? Now, what I like here is, you notice I'm just walking straight to the back. This is a very bright yet fully sheltered backyard, okay? On one side will be laundry, okay, this will be laundry. Now, on this side will be basically where they do the heavy and extensive so-called cooking. What I like about here, notice behind here, we actually don't share the wall. All right, there's actually a drain behind, and behind there's a bigger gap between you and the next neighbor, which is a roll of a bigger semi-detached at the back. This also then allows the owner to be more flexible in choice of their separation wall. So instead of a normal concrete wall, they have all this staggered wooden beams across, which I think is a nice touch because it ensures a lot of wind flow, and also you can have a lot of light. You notice now this place is just very, very bright, all right, coming in, and also ventilation as well, allows the laundry to dry. And I think coming here, you don't feel like, this is the back of the house. It's actually also an activity area of its own, okay? So now with the backyard, let's see where that bathroom leads to. So take a look. Okay, this is a remodeled bathroom, pardon me. So you can see now this is very spacious, very elderly friendly, so wheelchair friendly as well. There's a lot of space, there's natural light, and like I said, this is connected now to the first room on this floor, which is now converted to a grand niche room. So the father now sleeps here, but you can actually put a queen size bed if you want, if you have parents both staying here. All right, there's sufficient ventilation, and with the toilet just attached, I think you'll find it's very conducive, right, to stay in this place. Smaller families have come who have just 3-4 family members without the third generation, and this becomes a very useful room, all right, where for you to use as a study room, as an activity room, TV room. I have one mahjong enthusiast who said this will be an excellent mahjong room, okay, with basically the food and dining just outside. Okay, so if you come out here, if you step out of this door, you will literally feel, if your parents are going to stay in this room, you are instantly out and then feel you're part of the living room again. Okay, so any questions so far? By the way, this is a live show, so if there's any questions, feel free to just type it inside. So my colleagues and I, my teammates and I will be there to actually answer your questions, all right, on the spot. If not, let's take a look what we have in store upstairs. Okay, now we're going to the second floor. Before we reach basically the bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, you notice this stairwell. All right, one thing I like, or many buyers like about this, and I think I'm sure you will like as well, is you notice how bright this place is, because this skylight and the fan was actually created by the owners. Right? What used to be here was just a flat, basically a high ceiling, but I think with the natural light coming here, I think this place will be bright. I'm going to switch off the lights for you to see how so-called useless or ineffective, all right, the lights are. So this is with the light switch off, and on a bright day like this, you can notice this helps to lit up the entire place. I think it makes the climb up to the bedrooms a lot more comfortable. Okay, so coming here, you can see this stairwell, high ceiling, and then 2 rooms at the back, 1 room here. The good thing about split level is that the transition to every floor is not as extreme, so it's just, you can see just 4 steps here up to basically the 2 rooms. All right, these are the 2 rooms. These 2 rooms will be useful if you have children, whether it's 2 or even 3. Later I'll explain to you how you can do it. But the first room you'll reach is the master bedroom. Okay, if you can walk in here, take a close look at the master bedroom. All right, you can see firstly this is a very squarish shape, right? Very squarish shape. Now this master bedroom, the size is about 170 square feet, okay, which is very comfortable by any so-called standard. You can put a king size bed. Now the owner's daughter bunks in with them almost every night, so they have almost like a permanent bed on the side, and yet you still have a lot of space on both the left and right. Okay. Speaking about space, I think wardrobe storage is important. So you have this almost 4 meters, okay, a storage. These are all carpentry. It's a wardrobe, both top and bottom. So giving, I think, you, the owners here, a lot of space to display your bags, shoes, and of course your clothes, etc. And yet still you have a little corner. I think what I'll do here is, because the TV is just there, I didn't put a nice couch, and this could be a nice area. Or even you want to create a little small study table or makeup counter, I think this can be done. All right. Now let's take a look at what it faces. This is basically faces the main road and also the slip road in front, which is the main entrance. Bearing in mind here, the owners in the renovation has actually done a double glazed windows that you can see here. All the windows here, all right, are all double glazed, so as to basically create a quieter environment as much as possible. Actually now it's almost silent, okay? You can't really hear what's happening outside. So you get to enjoy basically the quite unblocked view. You don't have neighbors outside, and yet inside you still feel very, very quiet, all right? So remember I said this is extensively renovated, so the bathroom was one of the main area that the owner focused on. So even though it is 7 years old, this renovation, you can see then that the design is still very cozy, has a very nice resort vibe, with a bit of a greenery, and the materials they have chosen obviously have stood the test of time. I don't see basically any cracks or basically mold, right, around. It's very well maintained, the size is good. I like the separation with the standing shower on one side, all right, and then also you have a nice sink and also storage on this side as well. So this bathroom, what I also like is there's a lot of natural light, all right, coming into this place. And not forgetting, remember, this is a bit of a northwest facing, so you get a lot of wind and yet a bit of the west sun to come. I always like toilets that faces west sun. You don't have a lot of strong sun, so the whole, to me, just makes the place looks more hygienic and desanitizing, so to speak. Okay, so this is a nice bathroom, very comfortable. I think after long days of work, you come back, this is a nice place to shower, clean up, etc. Okay, so now this is the master. Let me now show you basically the remaining 2 rooms. So the owners have 2 children. Of course, the way they split up the children was basically these 2 rooms, but they also have a big family. In fact, the moms actually and another family member used to stay here. So these 2 rooms can house actually more people than just 2 or 3 children. All right. Now, one way they have done this is that if you notice, this is basically a partition board. Okay, so you can see there's a wall here. The initial design, the door was actually here. So what the owner has done quite ingeniously was to actually push this out quite simply with a partition board to make this room bigger, right? So making use of the walkway, make this bigger, and at the same time, they managed to create a second ensuite. That's why a lot of viewers are asking or buyers are asking, how do you create 2 ensuites on the second floor? So this is one smart way. This is also just a partition wall. So by creating the same extension here, we notice this is just a board, all right? This is the outer wall. You can still see the door mark here. So this part was actually extended out, creating a ensuite, okay, like this. Of course, for the owners, they only have 2 children. Children can just come in here straight away. If you want some privacy, you can redo the same door here, and then yet you have almost a 2-in-1. You can have a ensuite, yet also a common toilet for the occupants of these 2 rooms, okay? Now, going back to the toilet, you can see they have the same design theme. All right, a lot of these are very cozy colors and all really nicely done up with this groove in the center as well. So you didn't need additional space, so lots of storage space, and everything is still working well. And frankly, for a 7-year-old bathroom, this is very, very well maintained. I think the design they've chosen then was really contemporary and timeless. All right, now let's take a look at the size of the rooms. The master bedroom we saw was about 170. Now this room itself is also not small. This is the first thing you probably realize after you walk past the walkway. Okay, this size now is about 130 square feet, and you can feel the size. And one thing that's not in this number is the ceiling height. Right here we have almost up to almost 4-meter ceiling on the side. Although it's slanted, but it gives you this spaciousness and also a lot more flexibility to see how you want to use this space. I think some ideas that some parents have come up with, they can do a double, if not triple deck, beds for their children. They can also create a small little loft that goes out to put their books, etc. Right? Because underneath this part will be 4-door wardrobe. It's really done for you. There's a queen size bed, but easily can put a king size, 2 single bed, not an issue. Right? Towards the back, just now we were downstairs, and you see that the distance between us, this room, and the next house is actually quite far away. And from where I'm standing now, you realize this actually opens up. So the house gets actually further and further away. So I really appreciate there's this small little drain that leads to the canal that Tina has mentioned, and it makes this place a lot so-called more private. All right. They also have the same treatment for the windows. All these windows are also double glazed as well. I think the owners just wanted to give the occupants, the children and the mom, an equally quiet environment to rest in. All right. So aircons here have been changed for some. These are pretty new. So especially for buyers, quite a lot, they are actually attracted by the fact that this is renovated or needs minimum renovation to move in. So you'll be happy to know, besides doing all the rewiring and stuff, certain aircons have been replaced quite recently. Okay, so let's now take a look at the last and the +1 room that we're talking about. So a lot of you have been asking, what do you mean by 4+1 besides the maid's room that was downstairs? Okay, so now this is the last room. This in fact is quite a big room. If you see where I'm standing now in the middle, although we have a super single bed, easily you can put a queen size bed if you want to. Same views that you can see on that side, right? And also very high ceiling. Now this is where is a secret room that I want to show you. If you turn around, okay. Now remember we said that we have sold the house recently, just a few doors down, and we managed to see the original layout, which is just a very high ceiling. And I kept wondering then, what can you do right with the high ceiling space? So for this house, when the owner bought this 7 years ago, a loft has actually been created to make use of the ceiling height. So you may always think like the loft is very small, very narrow. So I'm going to show you how this loft looks like. Okay, slowly. There's handrails there, so it's quite comfortable. Frankly, when you come out, you expect to probably have to squat down, or the place is very dark, right? Even as I can see the cameraman coming up, we can now stand full height. Standing here, there's still additional space here as well. Because the first thing that you see, there's a lot of natural light, right, coming from here. Number 2 is the height. Okay, you can really stand on this side. This is almost more than 100 square feet, and you can use this is a multi-purpose space. A lot of buyers will come, can actually convert this to a study room, can be a playroom, you know, and of course young children or even teenagers will love this as like a gaming room or additional space, all right, for them to use. Although this is now used as a helper's room, because the helper used to take care of the child, but I think this space has a lot of potential for a lot of the buyers, and this is what I think makes this house a lot more unique and interesting for a lot of young families. Okay, now we've come almost to the end of this live tour of this two-story freehold renovated beautiful house at Upper Changi Road. So now let's join my teammates back at the front and see you there.
We hope you have enjoyed touring this beautifully renovated terrace with 4+1 bedrooms and spacious interior with us.
At $3.65 million, matched by valuation, which means there's no cash above valuation. And this also will minimize your cash outlay, and moreover, the place is renovated, so there's no need to do any renovation and thus decrease your waiting time. You can just shift in after sales completion.
Once again, should you like to view the home with your family in person? Feel free to give us a call to arrange for your next exclusive viewing appointment. Once again, I'm Serene.
I'm Lucy.
I'm Tina.
And I'm Willie from Huttons Landed Division. See you at our next
Live Open House.